Hello, this is RSCKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, today I'm bringing you another review, and this is of the Surface 2. So the Surface 2 is the entry-level Surface model, and it is the successor to the Surface RT from last year. Now, just as its name suggested from last year, RT means that it's not a full Windows laptop. So that is important to note. One great thing about that is that it's very light and a lot quicker than most Windows laptops would be, especially around this price point. However, you do have to consider one thing. Because it is an RT, you cannot download programs. So you cannot download, say, full Adobe Flash, TurboTax, a lot of these other things. You can only download apps, which you can only get from the store. So from the Microsoft Store is where you're going to download all of your apps. And while they are getting some new things, such as things like Flipboard, as well as finally I think Instagram came to it, although I don't know if it came to RT, it did come to the phone. We still are missing a lot of apps, and that has not changed dramatically since last year. It is hard pressed to find a lot of good apps. Again, some are coming as the time goes by, like Asphalt 8 just came out for this, for a gaming review that I was doing, but it was very hard to find just a good amount of games even for doing that. Even decent apps that I would typically use, these were the main ones that I found that I would personally use all the time, such as Google Search, Facebook, Adobe Photoshop Express, which is not as good as the Photoshop Touch that is on both Android and iOS, but you have that nonetheless. You also have Netflix, Best Buy app, which is really good, and Amazon app, which is really good. In terms of games, you have a decent selection, but still, again, nothing as great as compared to other markets, of course. What you have to understand about this is you have to consider how this is compared to other devices in its same price category. So as a laptop, it's really good for a couple of things. One is battery life. Battery life on this device will easily be from 10 to 11 hours easily, which is of course really good for a laptop at this price point. Speaking of laptop, you are going to always want to get the keyboard cover. The reason why, and the type keyboard cover, which is the one I have, is because you do have to take that into the price factor. So price by itself, it is $449 for the device itself. However, you do want to account for the keyboard, because without it, it's not as productive. Now, this does bring up a good point. Well, it's a 32 gig for $449, so that sounds good in terms of price point. But then once you add the keyboard, it's $580, which is still cheaper compared to some devices out there, being $599 for a 32 gig model. But you have to remember that since this is Windows, you are going to take up more storage. So you're really getting around, I believe, 20 gigs or less on this device out of the box. So it's something to keep in mind that you don't have the full 32, of course. The other thing to consider is that this device is going to have Office built into it. With all laptops, you would, of course, have to purchase Office separately. The nice thing about this device is you do have Office built in. So you have the basic, what would be called the student version of it. So you have Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. Really good and great for students, and that is one of the main customers that should be considering this device. Really, it's ideal for students. If all you're going to be doing is internet browsing and using Microsoft Office, then this is ideal for you. It's a lot better compared to a lot of the laptops around that price point, and does a very good job comparing to it, and obviously is a lot more portable, lightweight, and you can use the tablet features as well. Overall though, would you get this over other tablets? That really depends on what you want to do with it. Although Android and iOS will give you much better apps, it's hard to deny the productivity of this tablet for just, again, internet and Office usage. Since Microsoft Office is still not available for either Android or iOS in its full version without being a subscriber, which you have to pay about $100 for every year, it's going to not be as good in comparing to this Surface 2. So you have to keep that in mind. Overall, I do like the Surface. Again, if you are using it just for internet and Office usage, it's a great device. If you plan to have it for gaming and have the full tablet experience that you have on other OSs, this is not the tablet for you. Alright guys, hopefully you found this review helpful. If you did, please leave a thumbs up down below and any comments about it or questions you have for it. Thank you for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.